Welcome to a special Punters Guide. We're out on location, like I say, we're at Stockton Farm to see Oliver Greenall and Josh Guerriero ahead of the Cheltenham Festival. But we've got Frankie alongside us. Don't worry, he's going to have a look through the action at Kelso and Newbury as well. Joel can't be here, but he sent us in his thoughts. But as we're at Stockton Farm, it's only fair with the boys getting plenty of runners over the weekend to get their thoughts. So let's get straight stuck into it then. Glad to see Josh is joining us right now. And it's an old favourite from this year, Josh, Hon Public, who kicks off your Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. We know he loves Doncaster. He seems in good form. We ran him in the cross-country race just as a bit of something different. We sort of knew he probably wouldn't get the trip, but he's come from France and he jumps all those type of jumps in France. And I thought just doing that might just spark him up, and he's come back from there really fresh and well. Back to what he knows, what we know he loves: 2 miles, fences around Doncaster.
Happy hunting ground for him.
Yeah.
We go to Newbury, you've got Lockerec running in a novices handicap hurdle.
Yeah, French horse that we bought, and he's just taken a bit of time to come to hand, really, like a lot of the French horses can. But he's got a fair engine, and hopefully tomorrow in a handicap we'll see a better run from him back down in trip from Utoxeter. So, like I say, he's still just coming to hand, and whether he's just going to take a bit long or not sure. He seems really well. Fingers crossed he shows a better performance tomorrow.
Okay, we're staying at Newbury, not that one, Melon. I think Josh loves Melon, the old Melon, who's always second at the festival. A different Melon though, going for you at Newbury.
Yeah, he's a little star. He's won 3 races for us now. He wasn't quite right after Windsor, been a bit quiet, so he seems to come back to form. His Cheltenham run when he was third first time this season would put him in with a great chance at Newbury, so I think track and trip and everything will suit him really well.
And then you've got a juvenile hurdle at Kelso where Word for Word goes.
Yes, lovely big horse. He's probably next year's horse though. He doesn't look like a typical juvenile. He's quite big. Might just need the experience a little bit, but I think he'll run a good race without winning her. So yeah.
Do you do much do you school him much for his first start of hurdles?
Loads, yeah. So when they first come from the flat, we have like a jumping lane with lots of little different jumps that they get a lot of practice on, and then we'll go up over the hurdles twice a week before they run for probably a month. But they do loads. Really good, yeah. But like I say, he could just jump a little bit big and careful, which we don't mind. I'd rather that way around first time. Yeah.
Right, plenty more to come from the guys here. Obviously, doing a special road to Cheltenham, which will be out on YouTube soon as well. We'll get Frankie's thoughts for Saturday's action shortly as well. But here's Joel's thoughts on Kelso this weekend.
Cheers, boys. Let's start the 110 at Kelso. We'll wrap through this. Arrows look for Sandy Thompson. Sandy always does well, obviously in Scotland. This is a horse that came from Cromwell's in Ireland in October. Sandy ran it once, was 5th the 5th, one of those see how we get on runs. Straight away after that, got a wind up, then was back out at Kelso on the 9th of December, finished 6th and 9. It was always out the back, it was 40-1 that day. And then end of December, I know it was beaten 16 lengths into second by that really good horse of Ollie Murphy's, the 4-6s. But if you look at last time out, 1st of February, was half a length second to Pure Cotton of Derham's and was just done on the line. I think there's more to come from this horse. Arrows look, Sandy Thompson 110. Go to 140, Protector Wrap, stands up, should win. Brilliant bit of placing by Dan Skelton to cement that Champions Trainer title. 34 grand to the winner. Only thing, and you've got to look for a negative if you're backing some on long odds on. 2 long odds on shots were beaten last week by Harry Skelton. One was his fault, one wasn't. 215, this really messed with me head. Novice hurdle grade 2, but I did go for the Blue Room. Ollie Murphy and Sean Bowen booked, obviously. Put a line through that last race at Cheltenham. Before that, 5 lengths behind, no drama this end at Sandown on the 5th of December. It beat double measure as well in November. I think it was about half a length at Chepstow. That good old to the Skeltons. That was going so well, double measure, in the Divcot last week, and then it fell. So I did fall down on the Blue Room. Should be all right. Hot Fuzz, 255 at Kelso. We put that up as Nap at Windsor mid-January when it won at 10-1, beating Wilful by a couple of lengths. It was pulled out in February, mid-February I think it was, at Newbury due to heavy ground. David Bass is booked, and we know what David Bass is going to do. He'll be prominent, might ride it from the front. If we go to Florida Dreams, 8-year-old in the 330, it is my Cliff horse. It's £2 below its last winning mark, dropped £2 for that last run. Fairly handicapped, 3 miles last time, back down to 2 miles 5. And then if we go finally to Newbury and the 315, please forgive me, Mr. Coffee is running 8th of November 2020 at Sandown, was the last time this horse won. Lady Bamford only paid 340 quid for Mr. Coffee. Good luck with whatever you're backing this weekend.
Hey, cheers, Joel. There's his thoughts for the action this weekend. And obviously you heard from Josh Guerriero at the start. I mean, now we're here. Just, it's beautiful, this place, isn't
It's
it?
great, isn't it? Yeah. And thanks very much to Ollie and Josh for having us.
Yeah.
They're so accommodating. You get such a nice feel when you come down here. We said it last time when Ollie came on the show that to have a horse here would be great because of the way that the gents operate and how they run the yard and how they are with their owners. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to be down here. One's a bit noisy behind
Trying
us.
to get involved, yeah. Giving his pick for the weekend.
Yeah, it's cool to see Jaguar and Rocco, who we've obviously spoken about. Them leading the string round the flat gallop was cool to watch. Amazing how easily Jaguar does it, isn't it? But he's obviously, as they said, a bit more of a bridle horse, whereas a Rocco's a bit more of a grinder. So it makes sense. But yeah, it's been a great morning down here.
It is. Once you've watched this, don't forget, very soon we'll have the special road show, all the filming and the footage that we've got from it, and interviews with Josh and Ollie, both to Rocco and Jaguar, of course, festival bound. They've got runners this weekend across the cards. We're going to start with the action at Kelso, their big meeting of the year, of course. We start with the 110. It's an extended 2 mile handicap chase at Frankie. I was quite keen on the top weight, Doyen de Bar. Didn't stay last time out. That third to Ryan's Rocky looks decent form. I know he went off short price for the Grade 2 Desert Orchid last time out. Okay, he's got a big weight, 12 stone 1, but I'm not sure there's anything of his quality in it, and I think he can carry this big weight to victory.
Favourite backer?
He's not favourite.
What price is he? No, he's
Five.
a fair price. I'm going to go a little further down the betting with Blue Dom Fur for Don McCain, who's not far from where we are in Malpas. Ran in the Grand Sefton start of the season, ran in the Scottish Champion Chase up at Musselburgh that JPR won. He's obviously a very classy animal. He took up the running from a long way out and set a pretty strong pace. Finishing 5 or 6 lengths behind him, I don't think's terrible form. He's been there or thereabouts in these sort of races, and it's 2 miles and 2 furlongs.
Yeah,
I think I'm
almost,
right in
yeah.
saying. So he's a 2.5 miler, 2 miles 2 at Kelso, and that uphill finish is going to take some getting. So I think the track trip will suit him, and don't think it was a bad performance behind JPR1 last time. That's Blue Dom Fur for me and the McCains.
Disappointing turnout for the Premier Chase, only 4 protectors, like a veterans chase.
I know, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? 3 11-year-olds, a 12-year-old, more prize money for the Skeltons, go up north and pick up some cash. He should win. It's not much to talk about from a betting perspective, is it? I mean, you can appreciate the soundness of the horse, the amount of races, the amount of prize money. Is he a millionaire now, I think, after he won at Windsor? So he's been a great horse for connections and for the yard, and you've got to appreciate him, but it looks a straightforward assignment, doesn't it? It's not really one to chat about.
No, it's not really. What follows him home, do you reckon? Manila Drama?
I think so. He was second in the race last year, wasn't he, as well? Again, a horse that you can't knock. He's a trier. He's been around for years. All of these horses are in there. They're old horses that we like to watch, but it's just a shame it's not, at least on paper, before the tape goes up, it's not much of a horse race in the sense that you can't really see Protector out getting into much of a battle. He'll go out in front and do it his own way, won't he?
Yeah, he's got stacks in hand, hasn't he? But
Yeah.
what is a race is the Premier Hurdle at 2:15 over, again, the extended 2 mile, 2.25 mile, this one. And we were talking about this before. This is a race that's got to frank the form, whatever wins, will frank the form of some of the big guns going to the festival.
Yeah, it's worth keeping an eye on this race, particularly if you have an impressive winner, the likes of Starmount and The Last Cloud. They finished behind Idaho Sun and My Daddy Paddy, who are supreme bound, and then a couple of others in here finished behind No Drama this end. So if any of those really do come in and put a big performance, that will be worth a probably second look at some of those festival hopes. I do like the horse I mentioned first, the Last Cloud. He was third in the Form B behind My Daddy Paddy and Idaho Sun. Then they stepped him up to 3 miles, which was an interesting choice, and still remains interested coming back to, what is he, over 2 today?
2-2.
2-2 today. So, you know, he has Grade 1 form, although he was a couple of lengths off My Daddy Paddy. He was still best of the rest from 2 highly talked about horses that are supreme bound. He wasn't disgraced over 3 miles, and the winner of that 3 mile race is actually almost favourite for the Albert Bartlett. So he's got proper graded form on offer. The question is, what sort of horse is he? And again, I know 2 miles 2's a stretch to call that 3 miles, but stiff finish, just over 2. Will he be able to out-battle a couple of the out-and-out 2 milers? Perhaps he can. So, yeah, he's Grade 1 form in the book. I think he'll run a big race. The last cloud for me.
I quite like Gaelic Rover here. He was third on his Reels debut behind Up on Tweed. There was a lot of talk about him from Nicky Rich's yard. Then he was second to Le Beau Madric. And to be fair, Le Beau Madric was probably good value for that length. Maybe could have been worth more, just got hampered going into the run to the last and did go away to win by a length. But he's got a £3 turnaround. Le Beau Madric did have more experience on that occasion. You got Le Beau Madric in here at a much shorter price. He's almost 3 times the price, 4 times the price, Gaelic Rover here. So wherever Le Beau Madric finishes, I don't think Gaelic Rover will be too far behind, and hopefully will be in front. I think he's at a huge price, a double figure price, Gaelic Rover, so that could go well for Ruth Jefferson. Then, now we spoke about this on the way here when we were travelling in with the Moor Battle Hurdle. Amazing, isn't it? 17 runner handicap, £120,000 in winning place prize money for this contest, and we both agree on the same horse.
Yeah, both keen on him as well, aren't we? James Owen's Hamlet's Night, yeah, ridden by Sean Bowen, which is a positive booking in itself, and always worth taking note of when he pops up for trainers that he's not always riding for. He went on the flat last time out, but he pushed Give It To Me OJ close off of level weights, and he almost pipped Rubo on his home turf at Wincanton, albeit getting some weight from him. But that form is just... When I had a look through him, I almost didn't bother looking at the rest of the car, because I thought, how can this horse not be in with a chance, or the rest of the field in that race? How can this horse not be in with a big chance off of the likes of, what is he, low 130?
134, yeah.
Rubo, you know.
Rubo's 149.
Yeah, he ran a decent race behind Alexi, who's, you know, could be a contender at the festival. He also has previous form with Burdett Road, who's a graded animal. If you start to read back on that and you take it at face value, he has to be in with a good chance.
Yeah, let's Give It To Me OJ, bustled him up, who's a long odds-on favourite in the 4-year-old hurdle earlier on the season at Cheltenham.
And the fact that they've sent him on the flat.
And then 10 days ago, wins.
Exactly, he's won on the flat, he's obviously in good form, probably slightly tactical to use both marks and both disciplines in order to get him winning on the flat, but not butcher his mark for a nice handicap hurdle like this. So, yeah, nice bit of training.
Bowen and Owen.
Bowen and Owen.
Bowen and Owen combo. There we are. Hamlet's Night, yeah, both big fans of him in the Moor Battle. And then the 3:30, the final race on the ITV cameras at Kelso. Hopefully the dead eight do go to post. What do you like in here?
Where are we going? The 3:30. Florida Dreams was he's ran.
He never wins, does he?
I can't believe he's only 8. I'm sure he's running these sorts of races
forever.
Forever, yeah. I know. I like smart decisions in this. John Joe actually rode him as a winner at Leicester maybe 4 starts ago, and since then he's been gone off favourite, well backed favourite the last 3 times. He managed to win one of them. He actually pushed Brentford Hope relatively close. I think almost rallied back and pipped him on the line, but he wasn't. He was a next second or whatever to Brentford Hope, and then he was beaten last time out. William Easterby had been riding him. He's retired since. I wonder, was he clinging on for maybe one last hurrah with this horse, because after riding him the last couple of times, he has hung up his boots. So happy retirement to William. I reckon, just based off of the market, based off of snippets of form, based off of how he can rally in a finish, he's probably got a bit more in him than 122 he's rated.
Yeah, interesting. I like the other one in red and yellow here, Frontier Prince, right on the bottom, run over 2 miles, real good third at Cheltenham earlier on in the season behind French Emperor of Nicky Martins, and then has run, probably been outpaced 2 miles last twice. Huntingdon and Kempton, sharp tracks. They've gone up to 2.5 mile here, and has got stamina in the pedigree, so that's an interesting move. I thought for the lightweight gets wet off the entire field, so I thought Frontier Prince could be the one off a lightweight in the 3:30. There were a couple of races at Newbury I want to have a look at as well. The old boys, the veterans. I say the old boys are veterans, some in here that are just quite new. I mean, Capodanno gone to Neil Mulholland. That's a real interesting one, isn't it? And then we've got Brave Kingdom just turned 10 as well.
Yeah, and that can sometimes be an angle in, can't it, to these veterans, is can you actually still catch some slightly fresher legs than the 12-year-old? You're going to laugh at me, eh?
No, you're not.
I am. And I haven't been in the past, so I feel like I deserve at least one shout for Mr. Coffee, because I don't think I've put him up maybe once in his career, but not for a very long time. I'm not someone that is always banging on the drum of Mr. Coffee will win a race. But this could be his swan song, and do you know what's funny is he won his first ever start over hurdles at Newbury.
Yeah. Bookend.
He hasn't won much since. But he gets a £5 or £6 swing with Eldorado Allen off the back of that Cheltenham form. I think Newbury suits him, nice flat track. You get a long way to sort yourself out in the straight. He's obviously a brilliant jumper. I don't think it's the strongest field in the world. The last time he was rated off a 140, I know he's been off a 140, 145 for a long time and has come second however many times, but last time he was off a 140, he was second in the cross country to Stumptown. So I think his best bits of form around this obviously slightly lower mark than what he has been off. Last time was decent enough. And that £5 swing with Eldorado Allen, who I kind of looked at the card and thought he sets the standard, particularly at Newbury. He's ran there well before, so I actually think I don't know what you do in the saddle to get him to go past one more horse. I haven't figured that much out, but just in terms of ability and the rest of the field, I'm giving him a chance.
Well, you've took this up before. Gabby's Cross right down the bottom. A real good third in the Veterans final.
Yeah,
gone to Nick Schofield. He's having a real good time
he
of
is
it.
flying, yeah.
Disappointed last time out. That was over hurdles on real heavy, gluey Sandown ground. You can forgive any horse a run on that. But he's a pound lower than when third. Oh, not too far behind Nocte Vlatus. Cheap Piece has gone for the first time. Freddie Keithley takes off 5.
Yeah, you give
I
him
think he's got a huge chance.
Yeah,
Gabby's
no,
Cross
give him a big
really
chance.
good for Henry de Bromhead. Yeah,
Nick Schofield's having a great year as well.
he
Isn't
is,
he?
yeah.
And if you take the previous run over hurdles, I say when you inherit a horse, you can try things and see where you're at. And he's obviously ran a big race over fences in the Veterans that you spoke about. Could they have exploited this hurdle mark? Why not? Let's give it a go. Nothing lost from having a crack. It didn't work out back over fences, and with the claimer on board, like you said, I'd say he was in with a big chance because I think it was James Byrne that rode him that day. James Byrne's a brilliant jockey. I'd say if he got that race again, I reckon he probably would have got moving a little bit sooner because he was flying when he hit the line, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So yeah, he'd be in with a big chance as well. I'm glad you mentioned him.
And then the Great Wood Gold Cup at 3:45 as well. 11 go to Poston here, and I looked through this and I thought Vincenzo, it's his to lose. I thought he jumped a little bit to his left at Ascot, so I think going this way around at Newbury will suit him. And like I say, I don't have a crab at me for being a favourite backer, but I thought he had a huge chance, Vincenzo.
Saturday Sam.
Saturday Sam, exactly. Yeah, Dylan Johnson on board. So a good win last time out. Some fair form, finishing second already this season as well. So yeah, a big fan of Vincenzo. I think the favourite backers will be in Clover after the Great Wood Gold Cup. You agree? No.
I'd like to. He's obviously on the short list, and I wouldn't tell you not to back him. That's for sure. I think he's in with a great chance. I just want to give Blow Your Wad a chance. Having moved to Gary and Josh Moores, they tried him in the Ascot Chase, and he didn't run too bad. Again, when you inherit a horse from another yard, run him in a graded race, see where they're at, drop them back into a handicap. He's been threatening, knocking on the door for quite a while. I know you've put him up a couple of times. Both of us have been fans of him. He does finish in the places in these sorts of races, and he's one that has sort of been stuck around a mark for a while. But I'm just wondering, change of yard. When he came in the yard, did they think, well, they obviously thought enough of him to run him in the Ascot Chase?
And that's a kind of interesting point, because that's kind of a form, a test of that kind of form, because he wasn't too far behind Pictory and John Bond. So did he run above himself, or did Pictory and John Bond not run up to their marks?
Yeah.
So this is we'll kind of find out. Maybe if he bombs out here, then there'll be question marks over that form. If he wins, that form gets an uplift.
Yeah, I just like I said, when they inherit a horse, they obviously gallop him with horses that they know, and something has. Whether they wanted to run him in a grading race and get the handicapper to drop him, perhaps that's also a tactic. But at the same time, if they got him and thought, this is a nice horse here, there's a race coming up at Ascot, we can have a crack at, we can pick up some prize money, we think he's working like a horse that could go in the Ascot Chase, then perhaps he's, for a change of yard or a change of scenery, has actually taken a step forward, and therefore off of this mark that he seems to have been on forever, or around this sort of mark, and in these sort of races, he might actually be able to win one.
Okay, right, there's 7 races covered then. Kelso and Newbury. Best bet time.
Hamlet's night.
Ooh, stole it from me.
That's why I went quick.
Yeah, okay. Should have gone first. No, I do go like Hamlet's night. No, my best bet is Gaelic Rover. I think each way, knocking each way bet in the Premier Novices Hurdle. Right, just to recap, thanks to Josh Guerriero, thanks to Oliver Greenall for having us here at Stockton Farm in Malpas. Keep an eye out this weekend, coming very soon in fact, a special Road to Cheltenham show talking about Jaguar, talking about Iroko, both festival bound, both looking likely to clash in the Ultima at the Cheltenham Festival. That is a mouth-watering prospect, and both potentially then off to Aintree for the Grand National. Thanks to the guys for here, thanks to Frankie, thanks for Joel for his fleeting appearance as well. Road to Cheltenham special this weekend, but also our usual Road to Cheltenham with Frankie and Joel back, and another very special guest as well on Monday, so make sure you join us for that. Best of luck, whatever you're back in this weekend.